Hi, folks. Steve Urban here, founder and CEO at Riderflex. We hope you enjoy today's podcast. And as a reminder, please subscribe to the Riderflex show for updates on new episodes. And by the way, if you haven't already, check out the book we recently launched, The Riderflex Guide, Inspiring and Hiring, available for purchase on Amazon. And now, a quick word from our sponsor.
Try the #1 marketing platform for small business. Everything you need from design to marketing to CRM. Learn more at marketing360.com. Marketing 360. Fuel your brand.
All right. Jake Karls on the Riderflex podcast. Hi, Jake. I love those glasses, man.
I'm all about glasses. My whole theme in life has been funky glasses. So usually I wear my Willy Wonka glasses because, chocolate factory Willy Wonka. No, but today it's the green for you and fired up. I'm excited to get into some deep conversation with you about, the good, the bad, the ugly, and some personal stuff as well.
Agreed, my friend. So the glasses, now the Willy Wonka, are those the gold ones? Are those can I?
Hold on, let me put them on for a little show and tell, baby. Woo! Actually, we're gonna wear these today. We're gonna wear these.
I like it, man. I like it. It actually says on your LinkedIn profile, "I am Willy Wonka." Well, it doesn't say exactly that, but kind of.
Modern day Willy Wonka, baby. I'll probably sue me for that, to be honest.
I think my wife, who also works on the Riderflex team here, she does some recruiting for us because our day job is a recruiting firm, but we have the podcast, right? And so she's always looking for interesting podcast guests. I think she found your profile. She's like, look at this guy. We got to get this guy on the show.
Well, listen, I'm grateful for you giving me a voice and want to hear the story and tell your wife thank you. And I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be a fun session today. I think we're going to
Jake, give me some early life stuff, man. Give me the family, mom, dad, siblings. Go for it. Tell me.
Yeah. Family of 5, mother, father, brother, and sister. I've always been the class clown. I was never good at school. I did love going to school. It was like a playground, like a childhood playground for me. It was my place to prank people, to, start some trouble, get on probation, have some fun, do horribly in school in terms of academia. So I was always the class clown. And growing up, I watched a lot of entrepreneurs around me, subconsciously, just like, see how it's possible to do anything. And I think that was something that, witnessing and watching, kind of gave me this idea that, their dreams are possible. And it sounds so cheesy, but that I did see over time. And in the end, I ended up going to university, and I studied to be an actuary. And the reason why I did that was because I only did that to prove to everybody that I was no longer the class clown, actually, that I was a serious person, and that I can get a job in investment banking or, working in insurance and doing all the mathematical modeling. And I hated it, man. I was struggling so much in college because I wasn't being authentic to who I actually am. When I was the class clown, I was authentic. And when I was doing this for everybody else, I was just doing it because society, in my opinion, pressures a lot of people to fit into a box. And, that's the lifestyle I was going to, was towards the herd. And third year university, I decided to say, screw it. I was like, I'm dropping out of this program. I applied to every investment bank. I applied to every insurance company in Canada, and not one took me. I was like dressed the way I wanted to. I was unapologetically myself, but no one took me. And I think in that moment, I was at home. I'll never forget. I was sitting on a couch at my parents' house, and I was watching Shark Tank, as cheesy as it sounds. And I watched this individual on screen, and he was pitching his dream with such passion, energy, motivation, just killing it, in my opinion. And he had 2 mortgages on his house. He had kids. He had so many responsibilities. And me, I'm that loser sitting on the couch with no responsibilities. I'm living at home. I'm beating myself up trying to do this academic thing and become this investment banker. And it's just not me. And I was like, I'm in a mental prison. And this guy has so much on his mind, but yet he looks so free and so happy and motivated. Or inspired, let's call it. So that in that moment, I said to myself, I made a promise, and I was like, I'm going to try entrepreneurship, whether it works or not. I'll find the idea, but I just want that freedom to be me.
Yeah.
And that's when I started my first journey. And I had a fitness business, outdoor fitness boot camps, and that did really well. And then I went into a college clothing company where I was selling clothing on campus, throwing parties, having the time of my life, like kind of like Van Wilder style. And that went bankrupt after 2.5 years, lost 80,000. And then I went
Oh,
into current business. Yeah, dude, it's been a journey, man. It's been an absolute journey.
were you a fitness guy, like super athletic and stuff then, I guess? Is that
Can't see my biceps. No, yeah, you know what it was? While I was in college, so I wasn't great at the academics, right? So everyone else was propelling forward in academics. They were getting high grades. I was actually getting poor grades, like 60, let's call it, and barely passing. But what I was very good at was staying focused on fitness. Fitness allowed me
okay?
to like
Okay.
strive in something. Like I was able to thrive in something and working out. I was seeing the results. I looked jacked. I was tight and fit. I looked like a fighter, UFC fighter. And so people were
Ah,
impressed with that, right?
I see.
So that's where I put my attention when I was in college instead of through the actual studying.
Did you play a lot of sports in high school as well?
Yeah, hockey. I played ice hockey.
Of course, that's right, because you're from Canada. Are you in Montreal right now, by the way?
I am in cold Montreal, negative 24. You?
Minus 24 today. Oh my God. Well, let me ask you this. Your mom and dad, I want to know, were they strict? Were they casual? Like, what, talk to me about your childhood just a little bit and about your mom and dad and their personalities and styles, because I want to see how that connects to you and give me some details.
Yeah, so my dad is an entrepreneur and he's old school. So he built a business on volume and a lot of non-brand. So focused on just volume, margin, low margin, and just keep that flowing. So an old school business of
Okay.
import and export. And I watched him build it from the ground up.
Uh-huh.
And I was inspired by that. He worked very hard, lived in different countries, had to, travel to different countries for many months of the year.
Okay.
So I saw what hustle looked like. And then
All
my
right.
mom was always this funky weirdo who was just an amazing mother and there to, take care of us. And she always wanted us to go to school and do all this stuff. And, growing up, she encouraged us to, get into university and get a degree and all that stuff, the traditional stuff. She wanted her kids to like be a professional, actually, not an entrepreneur. And all of her kids, all of my dad and my mom's, like my siblings and we all became entrepreneurs, right? My brother's in a toy business. He started his own toy business. Me and my sister are in this chocolate business together.
Oh,
And
she's in it. Your sister's in the
yeah, she's
mid.
my partner.
Mid.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's my
All right.
partner.
Ah.
And yeah, so I guess like it wasn't so
Mm,
much strict. They did always request hard work. So like there was no
okay.
sitting and doing nothing. So if I
Yeah.
didn't go to school, I had to get a job, and I had to work my ass off. There was no, just chill and do nothing type of mentality.
Did you ever get in, like, did you ever have to call your dad from the sheriff's office or any
No, I didn't
arrests?
have to call from the sheriff's office, but like from schools and camps, I got on probation and stuff. All that stuff. I always want to be the class clown. So like I was always pranking. I wasn't harmful.
Yeah.
I wasn't disciplined.
Yeah. 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 Okay. Okay.
And
Okay.
hockey was an outlet for me to take life. It was a serious focus for me to actually like, put time, energy, discipline too, which actually I think, as an entrepreneur, my athleticism, growing up has played a major effect in how to deal with pressure, how to work with a team, how to, be very competitive, let's call it.
Yeah.
And I think that's a key factor in a lot of people's growing up is they should get into sports, competitive sports, because it teaches you a lot about, I think,
No doubt.
general life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The clothing company, you said you lost 80,000. Give me the short version there. Was it just you? Did you have a co-founder? How did that come about and how'd you lose the 80 grand?
So my other brother that was in the toy company was a silent partner, my silent co-founder in that business. The reason why I lost 80,000 was not because of the brand not being cool or having hype. The brand actually had so much hype and energy and momentum. Celebrities wearing it, football, NFL players wearing it, was the whole thing. Yeah,
Really?
I had the whole shebang, the bells and whistles. But what I didn't know how to do was operate the business. I was a horrible operator. I didn't know how to run the accounting. I didn't know how to do legal, the manufacturing of the clothing. So everything just fell apart. And I tried to do it all by myself. And that's a disaster a disaster in the making. And I ended up, hustling that for 2.5 years. And eventually I was tired. I was exhausted. And I couldn't throw these parties, couldn't live on fraternity beds, all this stuff. I didn't know how to operate. I needed an operating partner. And so I closed that business and that hurt the ego a little bit. And people were
What'd
actually
your,
them. Yeah.
What'd your brother do? What'd your brother do? He went and got another job?
Yeah. I know he built a toy company and board games and stuff like that. And
That's
he
right.
did very well. He's actually a great operator, but that he was doing that during. So like he didn't have much time to focus his operations on this other project that was with me, right? And when my
Okay.
sister, my brother approached me with this current business, Midday Squares, that I co-founded,
Okay.
they offered to be the engine of operations. They're ops. They love ops.
Who's
And
they? Their brother and sister?
my brother-in-law and sister. Yeah. So
Brother-in-law and sister. So,
this is
all
my,
right.
yeah, this is my current business that I'm currently living in
Yep.
the last 4.5 years. And when I joined, the deal was they're going to handle ops and I'm going to handle the community brand and story and network, the
Perfect.
hype.
Perfect.
And that's what I'm good at. So I started playing to my strength and all my weaknesses, and things started finally making sense.
Okay. Now, so Midday Squares, for the listeners, by the way, middaysquares.com. So your sister had the idea. She's like, hey, walk me through that. Walk me through that conversation a little bit. Yeah, go for it.
So she was making this product for a long time now. And the reason why she was making it was because my brother-in-law, her husband, had an addiction to chocolate in the afternoon. He would eat the junk chocolate, unfortunately, the higher sugar, palm oil type of chocolate. And he would get these crashes and stomach aches and all this stuff. And she's like, I can make you an alternative that tastes absolutely delicious, but also uses real food ingredients so you don't feel shitty after having it.
All right.
So she's a foodie, and she made this snack over time, and it became a staple snack in their home where they were making it every day. And he was taking it to work, his company, he was sharing it. Everyone was loving it. And she was in fashion at the time. She had a fashion company.
Oh,
so
she did.
She ended up closing that, losing a bunch of money, closing that. And then he ended up selling out of his software company, and they wanted to do something together. And food was the common denominator that they both loved. And they didn't realize that this product was right in front of their faces. But my brother-in-law read a report one day from a larger conglomerate that said that real chocolate, so darker chocolate, was growing very fast year over year, and that vegan protein, so plant-based proteins, were also on a tear due to their health benefits at the times. And it just clicked and said, he's like, oh my God, your hobby snack that you're making me is a baby of these two massive growth categories.
I see.
So the product market fit was there. And then they started to develop the product they got the help of McGill University here in Canada to help with the commercialization. So like the proteins, the macros, the fibers, all that stuff. And then they came to me and they're like, we got this amazing product ready. We need someone to blow it up. And
you're the guy. You're the perfect. You're perfect.
I'm the Energizer Bunny, the Mr. Hype Man. You energy, woo! And no, my whole purpose in life is to make people feel something deeply and spread good vibes. So they're just like, we need you to do that. You do you. We do the ops, and that's how it came together.
Wow. Okay. And then how'd that work? Are you like 50% owner? Did you have to buy in? Did they make you do sweat equity? How did they? Yeah.
We did a third. Okay. So we each had to put in a certain amount of money, and after that, we've diluted a little bit. Obviously, we have venture money in our company to speed up the growth. And build this business faster and faster and faster. But at the beginning, it was just the three of us, and we were in a little condo kitchen making these bars by hand.
Really?
And we would hand deliver them. We couldn't afford to ship them, so we'd hand deliver.
And this is before you had a co-packer or anything like that.
Yeah, and we don't even use a co-packer. How do you like that? Because we went to 26 once we had traction, like actual like hype, and people were like buying this product. We then went to 26 the best bar manufacturers in North America and Europe. And each one said that we cannot scale your product because of the complexities of how to make this product.
Really?
So yeah, my sister went out and built a factory of the last 3 years, custom machinery with engineers here in Montreal, which was supported, debt financed by our government. And now we can make, every day, 45,000 bars come off the line every single day. And then we have a capacity of 90,000 at full scale.
And you own the land and the building and the manufacturing center.
Unfortunately, we didn't buy the building. We own the whole plant, but we don't own the building.
Okay. Are you doing anything for anybody else? Are you doing any like white labels? No. Okay.
No,
okay.
We can't. We don't have it would be a distraction. We don't have the time.
All right. And how many bars are you pumping out a day right now on average?
Right now, every day, 45,000.
45,000. All right. How big is the company? How many employees?
We're about 60, including our entire manufacturing team.
Really, about 60. Okay, very good. And you have like a little corporate office there with the manufacturing plant?
Yeah.
Do you? Yeah. Is that where you're at today, or are you at home?
I'm sitting here right now. I'm actually in our podcast room, and in front of me is all the cubicles there, and then some desks and all that stuff.
Wow, I love it. You took some VC money. How much did you raise? Can you share?
Yeah, we've raised straight to about 20 million.
$20 million. You and your sister sat across the table from some VC companies and did a pitch and raised 20 million. Was that in one shot, or you've had a couple of raises?
No. We had like 3 separate rounds. The first round was like 2 million, and like 5, and then like 10, and then another 4. But the idea was, no, my sister is focused on like manufacturing and R&D.
Okay.
Me and my brother-in-law are like a very good tag team. My other partner are a very good tag team for raising money because we build this company out loud, transparently. Like, we share it on social media. We share the good, the bad, the ugly. We're not having a hard time finding the people, and we're very good at building relationships. So before we have to raise money, we have developed tremendous amounts of deep relationships with different types of family offices, venture funds, private equity, angel investors. So when the time comes, raising money from just a due diligence perspective is simple. They already know they like us. They either don't like us or like us. They like our vision. They know everything they need to know to have the intent to want to invest or not. So it's a lot easier. And it's a strategy I think every company should have, is like basically have a Rainmaker. So I'm the Rainmaker in my company, but basically someone that goes out there and builds all the relationships that is not based on business, but based on friendship. And then when the time's right, you send those relationships to the departments that need it. So whether that's retail, our retail team, our sales team will get the retail buyers. If it's our finance team, they'll get the finance investors. Or if it's our journalists, the media team will get the actual storytelling, the journalist relationship, right? So it's like, I just suck it all in. And then when the time's right, I pass it on. And I still stay really close friends with those people, not regarding business.
Yes. Let me ask you this. Do you walk in just like you are, yourself, your personality, with the sunglasses to a VC and pitch?
Yeah. I walk in usually the beach shirt, sometimes no shirt. I come in my boombox, I dance, I kid you not, because I realized my whole life when I wasn't being myself, I wasn't optimal. When I finally started being myself and unapologetic and really embracing it, great stuff started happening. Yes, people make fun of me. Yes, people judge. But once you lose that and stop worrying about that, your ceiling is unlimited. Your sky's the limit.
Yes.
You are your superpower.
Have you ever been kicked out? Any VC firms are like, just get out.
Well, they'll just be like, no, they won't kick me out, but they'll just be like, we're not interested at all. And they just can't handle the energy and that momentum. They find it's gimmicky or like, like not real, but yet it's actually authentic. Like if you actually get to know me on a personal level, you'll see I'm this way every day.
Are you that way at home?
Yeah. My fiance, she actually gets the calm side of me because I'm so exhausted, but she knows that I'm that like showman all the time, that's who I am. I enjoy it. That's what gives me life. It gives me energy, momentum, fun. And it's like caffeine. It's like natural caffeine for me.
But at the end of the day, you do hit a chair at home and you're like, okay, I just need to.
No, I hit the chair and I actually just listen. So my fiance will tell me about everything about her and it's her time.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, it's great to learn how to listen to your partner, or your spouse, isn't it? It's magical what that can do.
The most important thing.
So you're engaged. You're going to get married anytime soon?
Hopefully in the next 6 months. I got engaged 2 months ago. 2.5 months ago. It was a wild journey. And we've been together 4.5 years. And I think this is really important for any entrepreneurs listening to this podcast. When you're an entrepreneur and you dedicate your life to something. So like 4.5 years ago, I sacrificed everything for this vision of building the next biggest chocolate company, let's call it snacking company. I sacrificed friendships, I sacrificed time, free time, I sacrificed everything, that some people have the freedom of, which is a great thing to have. And sometimes, you got to be a little selfish as an entrepreneur. And I told my fiance, this is when we first started dating, I said, this journey is going to be really crazy ups, really crazy downs. It's going to be my most depressing moments of my life. It's going to be my most exciting moments. I want you part of this, but I cannot give you the full 100% me. And I mean, my energy and my time, because I'm making a sacrifice. And she got on board with that. And it's not for everybody that. And I have so much respect for her that she was able to do that, because it was not always sunshine. Yeah. It's most of the time not sunshine actually here in this company. It's actually clouds a lot of the time. And it, mentally, I've gone through a crazy journey of mental health, of good, bad, ugly, of like I said, like I've hit my most depressing moments. I've cried myself to sleep 25 times throughout this journey. I never did that before in my life. And, it's been really, really hard pressure wise, just being judged, like the judgment, people misunderstand you. They think you're crazy. They think you're out of your mind. How, what that feels like? It's embarrassing a little bit, So she's been with me, and then, I want to spend the rest of my life there, and she wants to spend the rest of her life with me. And I think you need that strong partner in any of those journeys that you're going to go endeavor on. Without that, I don't think I would be here today.
Isn't it interesting how people will look at your profile? They'll see you, they'll see the brand. They may see a clip of you, And at first it's like, wow, fun, energetic, cool guy. Look at this, man. Life must be great. He must be awesome. Everything's perfect all the time. Unless you've been an entrepreneur, you don't know. Like there are nights where you're crying yourself to sleep, or you're waking up at 3 a.m., walking around in the living room in a cold sweat thinking, holy fuck, what are we going to do if this happens or that happens or whatever? I mean, until you live it, you don't really fully understand.
Exactly. You know, I tell my best friends, they're all doctors, lawyers, accountants. I love them to death. Don't get me wrong. But they're always like to me on like a Saturday, and I'll be like 6 p.m., 7 p.m. at the factory, and they'll be like, "Why are you still there? Come out, come for dinner." I'll be like, "Yo, I can't." And they'll just be like, "Oh, baby, you got to take a break. You got to take it easy." And I'll just be like, "Okay." Like it's just, it's entrepreneurship is so difficult. It's like
It is,
you're
bro.
trying to accomplish something that's not been accomplished in whatever you're trying to do, right? So you're technically, the odds are stacked against you. And I'm not saying life's easy in any other field. It's actually, every career is difficult, to be honest with you. But what I could tell you is, when you're trying to do something that's never existed before, you know, the pressure is so high,
Yes.
and it's all on your shoulders. So
Especially after you take VC money and they're like,
yep.
hey,
It's a treadmill. And that's why you need good partners, by the way. That's why when you go build partnerships, don't do it in a 3-month span. Build it over 3 years when you need that money. So you have friendships that actually, when it's bad times, they're not calling that phone and saying, "Hey, yo, where is this? What's going on?" They're actually saying, "Hey, what are we doing to help you? Let's make this magic together."
Yeah, those are good phone calls. By the way, are you and your sister and brother-in-law combined together? Do you still have 51%, or have you been diluted past that with all the money?
Yes, we're around that percentage, but we actually have 77% of the vote. So like we
How much?
control, we own 77% of the vote. So
Together,
vote.
your sister and brother-in-law.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I can't believe you still have that much control with all the money you've taken. Great job.
Control, but we don't have all the percentage of ownership, right? So
oh, you separated it like class A, class B, whatever.
yeah.
Great move. Okay, all right. This is an education piece for the listeners, just real quick. Would you mind? I don't know how much you want to share, but great move. You can set up your cap table for the listeners that may not know, aspiring entrepreneurs. You can set up your cap table and your ownership by division, class A, class B, whatever you want to call it. And you can actually give away units or a percentage of your company that are non-voting units, right? And so, you know, they can put money in and gain ownership, but you're still voting day to day. Exactly what I did with Riderflex, by the way. Same thing. So you guys, good move.
So we really believe that, that's exactly what we did. So we really believe that at the end of the day, it's not that we care if we build this business to the size that we truly believe we can get it over the next 10, 15 years, believe it or not, then the smaller percentage won't be a big deal. As long as we can keep control of this company and the board control and the voting control, we get to do what we want. And that's the goal of this journey. It's not so much that if it's for an extra cup, let's say we sell the company, and I'm saying big, and I really believe big. Let's say we can get it to $500 to $1 billion in terms of valuation. And that means, let's say 100 to 200 million in revenue. You know, for owning between 40 and 30% or 20 between the three of us, it doesn't make a big, it's still a big difference, but it's not, at the end of the day, if we were able to get there solely because we had control, that's what was important. Right.
Good move. Yeah.
So that's our goal, man. And I think that, like, otherwise we wouldn't enjoy this journey.
The company is showing profitability right now? Are you scaling and burning cash with growth, or you're actually pumping out profits?
Yeah, no, I'm not. We're not pumping out profits yet. As of hopefully May or April this year, we'll be in the black. That's the goal.
Okay.
That being said, there could be things that don't go right. So yeah, we're not there. But the reason why we burn so much money is because we have a manufacturing plant. So building that whole thing up and getting that up was a disaster. But over time, our margin gets to a higher margin than most food companies can get to in our space.
Yep, absolutely. For the listeners, give us the product breakdown, because a lot of people are listening to this going, I don't know what Midday Squares are. Give us the pitch, Jake. Go for it.
Here's the easiest way to explain it. Imagine we took a dark chocolate bar, so a real dark chocolate bar with real foods, and made a baby with a protein bar, but we got rid of the junk in protein bar. So the artificial flavors, the aftertaste, the additives. So it's a chocolate bar that has the functions like a protein bar, but with real foods. And we call it a functional chocolate bar. And it lives in the refrigerated section of the store. So if you're going to Target, you'll see it's in the refrigerator in the produce section. And it was really made for your afternoon. So like when you're craving that chocolate at 2 p.m., but you want something that will also carry you over, keep you full, but feeling good. That's what we made it for. We made it to make your afternoon better. A lot of the snacks out there, we felt were targeting either morning time or pre-post workouts or afternoon. But the problem with those afternoon snacks is you'd eat them and you get tired after, you'd be hungry in 10 minutes. So we said, we need to sustain your hunger, keep you full, but also give you something that's a treat in terms of indulgence.
How many SKUs, how many flavors? Give us an idea of how, the lineup.
So we have 4 SKUs. We just launched our 4th one last month. We have our original, which is a brownie batter, dark chocolate brownie. Our second one is an almond crunch, kind of like a crunchier almond chocolate flavor. Then peanut butter is our 3rd one. This is like a healthier Reese. It's actually our number 1 selling SKU right now by a lot. And then we have our newest flavor, which is cookie dough chocolate, which right now I believe will be our number 1. It just needs its data to come through, but it tastes exactly like raw cookie dough, but it's not raw. It tastes exactly like that, but with clean ingredients and real food. So again, really there to make your afternoon better with delicious snacks that are functional.
And where are you? What stores are you in? Can you buy online? Can you buy on Amazon?
Yeah.
How can consumers get the product?
So if you're in the US, the United States of America, you go to Target, you go to Whole Foods, you go to Sprouts, you go to Wegmans, Fresh Market, Fresh Time, any of those stores. It's always located in the refrigerated section. If you're in Canada, Walmart Canada, Sobeys, Metro, Whole Foods, a bunch of other stores here. And then it's available always on our website, www.middaysquares.com. We ship within 3 days from our website, or Amazon has it as well. And again, always keep the product in the refrigerator. It's fresh.
How are you shipping it? How do you guys ship it direct to my house and keep it from melting? Do you ship it in like a cooler box or?
Yeah, it's insulated with usually a reusable ice pack. Obviously in winter months, it's fine. In the summer, we really load it with the reusable ice packs. But for us, the bars can be outside the fridge for 5 days, no problem.
I see. Okay. So wholesale to grocery stores is the bulk of your business, obviously, because you're selling
75%. Yeah. 75%.
75%. Okay, very good. How come you're not in Walmart US? Just curious.
We built Target first. We had to learn the logistics game, and that's a lot of volume, right? So right now we're in talks with Walmart to potentially do end of year this year. They'd be a very meaningful partner. In Canada, we do very well with them. They're a lot smaller in Canada. It's 400 stores max, which is a big difference. That being said, for us, we started in like the Whole Foods of the world, but that's not that's a great place to be for building a brand and creating for a great product for those customers. But in the end, we want to be a chocolate bar that's available for everybody in the world. And what I mean by that is for a reasonable price point that everyone can afford and get the distribution for. So, Target, Walmart are great accounts for us because they give that distribution to everyone around the United States that can go within a five miles of getting a product. And I think people are looking even more in those grocery stores. We're seeing more and more consumers looking for better for you products that still give them the indulgence, but are at a reasonable price point.
Are people buying a box which comes with single packets, or are people grabbing a single, or both?
So both. We're seeing a mix of both. Loyal customers are grabbing boxes; they love them. And then otherwise, we're seeing people buy 2 at a time. So maybe 2 flavors at a time, or 2 of the same flavor. We're hoping to get that to about 3 every time you purchase, so we can work on how structuring that, or maybe a 4-pack down the line that will be created.
And what about like in 7-Elevens or whatever, like convenience stores where they can grab a single one?
That would be the last journey that we do, is the convenience stores. We're not ready for that. It's a logistics nightmare. It's very difficult. That being said, 7-Eleven's a great store. We love what they do and all that stuff. So we eventually want to be in those accounts, but not for another couple. I'd say another 2-3 years.
Why are the logistics tough there? Because you can't ship in mass quantity, or what? How come?
It's just managing it all. It's really difficult. It's not the same game as just going to like a grocery store. So we're not ready for that at all. You need a whole team basically dedicated to C-stores, in our opinion. We're a fresh product. Remember, we have a short shelf life, right? So we have a 90 to 120 day shelf life in the refrigerator. So you need to be able to have everything moving quickly. And we're just not there yet.
All right. Have you had calls from Target and Walmart where they're like, "Hey man, come get this. It didn't sell. I need a credit. I need a credit."
No, we're doing very well with Target. I think we're number 2 in the category right now. Things are moving really well. We love them as a partner. They're super, super amazing. They answer the phones. They are really collaborative. Some retailers are not collaborative, and that hurts the business so much because, when there's a problem, nothing gets solved.
Yeah. I have experience selling to Walmart wholesale myself back in another life. I know that if you get in bed too far with one retailer and you're not diversified enough, it can get scary, right? Because if you got a bunch of volume with one retailer, they start pushing you around a little bit. Are you guys being
Yeah,
careful?
no, yeah, we're very careful. Um, before yeah, like before we get involved with them, we know what we need and how to work with them. We don't just go anywhere. We're very strategic on distribution channels. How? Because we're still not a large company in terms of resources and energy and time. So we need the direct focus and can't just go and win, right? So when we go
Okay.
to a partnership, we want to support. And it's very hard to support if you don't have the budgets or you have the people or the relationship.
Are you the man closing the deals? Are you the one closing the deals with the buyers, or you got somebody doing that for you?
Yeah, so for us, it's a really unique situation. So because I go build the relationships with the actual retailers and friendships, I basically started off and then I send that over to our sales team to actually close the promo planning, the paperwork, the actual distribution channel, how we get the product to them, the logistics of building that, right? It's very difficult. And sometimes our brokers will help with some introductions, but otherwise, I just go make the friendships, man. You got to go out there and show up. I get on planes. I flew 114 times last year just to go to meetings, to show up. And it
Do you
works.
have you been to Bentonville, Arkansas to try to pitch to Walmart there?
Yeah, and we actually had a great experience with them. They're good people. We have not pitched them actually. We formally just hung out with we informally hung out with some of them, and yeah, like we like them. We like
I mean,
Arkansas.
if you show up in Bentonville with your outfit and your character, people are going to be like, what who is this guy?
Yeah, they're going to be like, this guy's a whack job. But no, they see us on social media. They see us on LinkedIn, on all this stuff. So like Instagram. So they already know the energy and momentum vibe because a lot of these people
Okay.
are realizing they're finding brands on these channels.
Okay, let's talk about your character for a minute. Have you thought about doing something with this character and brand that you're building of you? I mean, it could be like a YouTube channel, it could be a reality TV show. It could be, I mean, you're doing a great job with it on social media already. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just like, have you thought about taking that further in some way? I don't know, but you've built this character, if you will, that I think people are attracted to. Have you thought about doing something else with it?
I would down the line. I think over time, I potentially want to go into broadcasting down the line. Like as we build this business, we get success over time. Sorry, there's a lot of noise in my office. Once we build that, I believe I can go into other things. I'm not a chocolatier for life. I love the business. I love CPG, but there's so much more, maybe even politics, Canadian politics, because I need to
Seriously,
fix things here.
seriously.
Yeah. I need to
Yeah.
fix
Well,
some things here.
what's the first thing you'd fix?
I get a lot more business support for small businesses. Small businesses are the actual largest employer of all of employment in Canada. The support is not great. So
Ooh.
I would work on that and building that a strong program because we need more businesses winning in Canada on the global stage and exporting. We're not. We're importing too much.
Hey man, you know what? You could probably run and be successful. I would love that.
Maybe one day. My goal is first build this business. Hopefully, get this business to $1 billion in terms of size.
Is that what? Okay, it's as far as valuation or revenue? $1 billion.
Valuation.
Yeah.
Valuation.
Okay, $1 billion. You're gonna have more SKUs to get to $1 billion valuation,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Global presence as well. So the goal is to really build this brand as a modern day chocolate company. Like we want to be the ones where you think of a new version of a chocolate bar being this.
Have you thought about doing the? Maybe this is wacky, but with your character and the fact that you guys own your own facility, have you thought about doing Willy Wonka tours where people come in and experience the whole thing?
Yeah, just not like a Willy Wonka, but yeah, like it would be we have some of our buyers come in, our investors come in for tours, some customers that we really are that are loyal. So we already do it to a certain extent. It's not the same size as a factory. One day we will have these mega plants.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll make that. It will be an entertainment factor thing for sure. 100%.
I mean, that's really my whole point is this, the whole entertainment side of what you're building, I think is attractive to a large degree. The whole entertainment thing, I think people would be attracted to that. I'm curious, when you go into a sales meeting at your little conference room there at the facility, do you go just like you are?
Yeah, dude, you got to see me, man. I'm unapologetic, and people either love it or hate it. It's like Elon Musk. People either love that guy or hate him.
Yeah.
But the people that love will do anything. People that hate, well, they're not supposed to be there anyways.
Well, I mean, they know who you are when they interview for the job, right? I mean, they know what they're getting into when they sign up to go to work there.
Yeah, and it's not for everybody.
You got to be open-minded to work for Jake, right? I mean,
yeah, it's a fun time. I can assure you that. It's just a bit wacky and a little weird.
let me ask you this as we wrap up. You, your sister, and brother-in-law, I'm sure you get into it from time. I'm sure there's been like,
oh yeah, we just got into it right before this podcast. Literally 10 minutes before I got on the phone with you, it was a huge heated session. But we have a therapist that we see once a week.
are you serious? Are you serious?
Business therapist together. Yeah, to work on our communication and understand each other and building our partnership stronger and stronger and stronger.
What do you guys argue about the most? Well, what's the main topic you argue about?
It's just sometimes just like things that are going on in the business. It's more like, okay, like maybe not being aligned on this and how do we get aligned? And then sometimes it's a lot of time we're overtired and that exhaustion's kicking in with another emotion. And then that takes it out and we got to get through that, work that through. And, it's a lot of the time, again, we're very committed to the building of this business, but also building of this partnership strength.
Do you ever feel like, hey, they're their husband and wife team, right? So they're kind of teaming up against you.
Sometimes they rarely do that now. I think at the beginning it was a little bit more. Now it's not like that because the therapy, it works.
Oh, that's good. I mean, hey, all right, very good. Any last minute advice? I know we could do a whole show on the question I'm about to ask you, but if there's aspiring entrepreneurs listening, what 2 or 3 things do you want to kind of wrap up with and tell them?
Number one, tell your story every day. Shout about it. Don't be shy. Your story it might not seem interesting to you because you live it 24/7, but it's interesting to other people that don't know it, which is super cool. It's relatable. Second thing is get comfortable with zones of discomfort. Every time I've gone into these uncomfortable zones in life, something outlier has come out of it. So whether it's good or bad, it's just not in the middle. So it's great. You either learn from something that was bad, or you actually win big on something that's outlier on the other side. And then the third thing is use the force of momentum forward direction, because once you're going, it is powerful. It is extremely powerful. And I think it's one of humans' greatest assets that we have as a society that yet none of us really utilize properly.
Jake, thank you very much for being on the Riderflex podcast and sharing your story and talking about Midday Squares, middaysquares.com for everybody. Appreciate it, sir, and congratulations on everything you guys have built so far.
Dude, I appreciate you giving us a voice. Thank you for even supporting. You're a rock star. Loved your energy. And let's just make magic, baby. Woo!